Two names, two tragedies, two countries, yet their stories together became warnings carved into human history. Sylvia Likens, a 16-year-old girl from Indiana, lived a life cut short by cruelty. Junko Furuta, a 17-year-old girl from Tokyo, endured 44 days of endless torment. Different eras, different cultures, but the same unbearable truth. Human cruelty thrives when silence surrounds victims. Their pain cannot be undone, but their stories can shape the choices of tomorrow. They remind us that cruelty often hides behind ordinary faces, trusted families, and familiar neighborhoods. Sylvia trusted her caretaker, Junko trusted her friends, both betrayed by people they believed safe. Their innocence was shattered not by strangers, but by those closest within reach. These tragedies teach us the greatest danger is not strangers, but silence of communities. Neighbors heard Sylvia's cries, classmates knew Junko was missing, yet voices remained silent in fear. Silence is not neutral. Silence becomes permission, allowing cruelty to grow unchecked and powerful. By ignoring victims, society becomes accomplice, handing abusers the freedom to continue unchecked. Sylvia's screams faded in an Indianapolis home. Junko's cries echoed inside a Tokyo house. Neither cry saved them, because intervention came too late, after death had sealed their fate. Their families grieved not only their deaths, but also the betrayal of entire communities. Both mothers carried unbearable guilt, wondering how trust had become their daughter's death sentence. Both fathers stood powerless before courts that minimized unspeakable cruelty through lenient sentences. The justice system's failed punishments were light. Killers returned to normal lives unscarred. Meanwhile, Sylvia and Junko remained forever frozen as teenagers, denied futures filled with possibility. Their killers aged, built lives, disappeared into anonymity, yet victims remain in public memory. This contrast hurts. Most perpetrators lived second chances. Victims never lived beyond youth. The lesson is clear: justice delayed, minimized, or ignored deepens wounds instead of healing. Remembering Sylvia and Junko is remembering injustice laws valuing criminals more than innocent victims. But memory also offers hope, the power to inspire change, to protect others in time. These stories urge us: speak up when witnessing abuse, even if uncomfortable or difficult. Courage saves lives. Silence destroys them. Every act of bravery can stop cruelty earlier. Their suffering must not repeat in new victims hidden behind closed doors or locked rooms. Change begins with awareness. Sharing their stories keeps their memory alive in collective conscience. Documentaries, films, and channels like this keep their names from fading into forgotten archives. Each retelling resists cruelty, ensuring Sylvia and Junko remain teachers through tragedy. Together, they symbolize the universal need to protect vulnerable children everywhere, not just in America or Japan, but in every country, every city, every neighborhood. Cruelty has no borders. So too must compassion have no limits. Remembering them is not about horror, it is about responsibility. Responsibility to notice, to act, to speak, when silence could cost a life. Their names belong to every household, reminding parents, teachers, and neighbors to stay vigilant. Both stories challenge us. What would you do if you heard the cries? Would you ignore like neighbors once did, or would you become the voice of rescue? These tragedies test not only systems, but our own humanity and courage. Sylvia and Junko cannot return, but countless others still need saving today. Every child living in silence could be tomorrow's tragedy if ignored. That is why their memory matters, because prevention begins with remembrance. Schools teach math and history, but must also teach empathy and protection. Laws must evolve, punishing cruelty with severity equal to suffering inflicted. Communities must learn silence is complicity, and complicity kills as surely as violence. Justice must mean more than punishment, it must mean prevention and protection. Society must value children's safety above perpetrators' second chances. Sylvia and Junko's legacy demands that shift, demanding compassion above cruelty. Their stories are not horror tales, they are human warnings for future generations. Remembering them turns tragedy into guidance, pain into purpose, sorrow into strength. Both victims deserve to be remembered not only for suffering, but also for innocence. Sylvia's smile, Junko's laughter, both lost, yet immortal in memory. Their photographs remind us of joy before pain, innocence before cruelty. Holding on to those images resists letting killers define their lives. They were more than victims, they were daughters, sisters, friends, dreamers. Sylvia dreamed of youth groups and roller rinks. Junko dreamed of graduation and freedom. Their dreams were stolen, but their memory restores meaning. They remind us, life is fragile, Innocence precious, compassion essential. In their absence, their presence grows, becoming symbols larger than cruelty. Across the world, people speak their names, lighting candles, writing tributes, making documentaries. Every voice repeating their names ensures cruelty cannot erase them. They belong to history now, but also to present struggle against silence. Their memory teaches courage to speak for others, to fight injustice. Their stories are carved into hearts of strangers who never met them. They became global daughters, mourned far beyond borders of their birthplaces. In remembering them, we unite across cultures against cruelty. Sylvia and Junko remind us humanity is one capable of both cruelty and compassion. The choice between them rests in our everyday actions. Every small act of kindness resists cruelty's spread. Every silence encourages its return. This is why telling their stories matters, why remembrance is powerful resistance. Cruelty wins only when victims are forgotten. Compassion wins when their names live on in memory and action. Every retelling transforms victims into teachers, tragedy into legacy. This series is not only about horror, it is about remembrance and responsibility. Audience members become witnesses, carrying memory forward into their own communities. By watching, by listening, you join the chain of remembrance, protecting others. Sylvia and Junko's stories belong not just to history, but to you now. You carry their memory into future generations, refusing silence, demanding change. Their deaths must inspire life lived with compassion, awareness, and courage. Their voices are silent, but through us, their message speaks loudly. Never again should a child endure what Sylvia endured. Never again should a teenager face what Junko suffered. Never again should silence drown cries for help. Never again should justice betray the innocent with leniency. These promises begin with memory kept alive by every viewer, every retelling. Remembering them is honoring truth, refusing cruelty, the power of erasure. Their names are monuments, Sylvia Likens Junko Furuta, etched in humanity's conscience. Their pain is history, their memory is responsibility. Their sorrow becomes our warning, their lives become our lesson. Their suffering must fuel resolve. Their memory must ignite compassion. They cannot return, but through us they continue to protect others. They were victims, yes, but now they are guardians, through remembrance. Never forgotten, never silenced, never ignored. This is their enduring legacy. Sylvia Likens and Junko Furuta, different worlds, same fate, united forever in memory. Their names live on, reminding humanity. Silence kills, remembrance saves, compassion heals. Carry their memory forward, not as tragedy alone, but as light guiding humanity toward greater compassion. For Sylvia Likens and Junko Furuta, your names are eternal, your lessons forever, your spirits never forgotten. As long as their stories are spoken, Sylvia and Junko will never truly be gone.